Some of the most iconic guitars in music history have become far more than instruments. They're cultural artifacts, symbols of artistry, rebellion, and emotional expression. Their value often transcends craftsmanship, reaching astronomical figures at auction because of the legends who played them and the moments they represent. One of the most remarkable examples is Kurt Cobain's 1959 Martin D-18E, used during Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York performance in 1993. Haunting, stripped-down concert became one of the most intimate moments in rock history. And the guitar that carried it sold for a staggering $6 million in 2020, setting the record for the most expensive guitar ever sold. David Gilmour's Black Stratocaster, the instrument behind Pink Floyd's timeless tracks like Comfortably Numb and Shine on You, Crazy Diamonds, sold for $3. $9 million in 2019. Its sale, which benefited climate change charities, demonstrated how the emotional connection between artist and instrument can inspire both nostalgia and philanthropy. Another notable piece is John Lennon's Gibson J160E, used during the early Beatles years, which fetched $2. $4 million. Similarly, Jimi Hendrix's 1968 Fender Stratocaster, the guitar that roared through Woodstock, has been valued at around $2 million, symbolizing the height of rock's countercultural era. Even Eric Clapton's A Blackie, a guitar he built from the best parts of several Stratocasters, sold for nearly $1 million, while Prince's Blue Cloud, Eddie Van Halen's A Hot for Teacher Kramer, and Bob Dylan's Newport Stratocaster each drew huge bids. These guitars aren't just expensive because of rarity. They embody the spirit of their players, capturing a moment in history when music changed the world. Each sale isn't just a transaction, it's a tribute to the timeless bond between sound, soul, and legacy. Top record-breaking sales: Kurt Cobain's 1959 Martin D-18E acoustic guitar is more than an instrument. It's a piece of rock history, forever tied to one of the most hauntingly beautiful performances ever captured on film. During Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York session in November 1993, Cobain sat beneath dim lights, surrounded by flowers and candles, stripping away the distortion and chaos that defined grunge to reveal something raw and human. With that guitar in his hands, he delivered a performance that felt like both a confession and a goodbye. The D-18E was a rare model, one of Martin's first attempts at an acoustic-electric hybrid. Its weathered look, modified pickups, and Cobain's trademark work gave it character that no pristine instrument could replicate. On that night, it carried the weight of songs like About a Girl, The Man Who Sold the World, and All Apologies, each drum echoing Cobain's fragile brilliance. When the guitar was sold in 2020 for $6 million, it shattered records, becoming the most expensive guitar ever sold at auction. Purchased by Peter Friedman, founder of Rode Microphones, the instrument was bought not to be locked away, but to be displayed publicly, so fans could witness a tangible piece of music history. Beyond its price tag, the guitar symbolizes Cobain's vulnerability and genius. It stands as a reminder of a moment when one of rock's loudest voices chose to be silent, and in that silence, revealed his soul. Just months after the Unplugged performance, Cobain's tragic death would immortalize both him and the guitar, turning this battered Martin into a timeless relic of authenticity, pain, and artistic purity. David Gilmour's A Black Strat is one of the most legendary guitars in rock history, an instrument that shaped the sound of Pink Floyd and helped define the sonic landscape of progressive rock. Originally a 1969 Fender Stratocaster, the Black Strat became Gilmour's primary guitar during the band's most creative and successful years, serving as his voice on timeless albums like The Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and The Wall. What makes this guitar truly iconic isn't just its sleek appearance, but the emotional power it carried through Gilmour's hands. From the soaring solos of Comfortably Numb to the pulsing groove of Money, the Black Strat produced tones that blended technical precision with deep feeling. Over the years, Gilmour personally modified the instrument multiple times, swapping necks, bridges, and pickups, constantly refining it until it became an extension of his soul. In 2019, Gilmour auctioned the Black Strat through Christie's, where it sold for an astounding $975 million, making it one of the most expensive guitars ever sold. The buyer, Jim Irsay, owner of the Indianapolis Colts and a passionate collector of rock memorabilia, added the instrument to his renowned collection. Remarkably, all proceeds from the auction were donated by Gilmour to charities fighting climate change, giving the guitar's legacy an even deeper meaning. The Black Strat isn't just a tool of music history. It's a symbol of artistic evolution and emotional truth. Every note it ever produced continues to echo through generations of musicians. For Pink Floyd fans, it remains the sound of a dream. Haunting, beautiful, and eternal, forever tied to David Gilmour's genius and the music that changed rock forever. Eric Clapton's Blackie is one of the most storied and influential guitars in rock and blues history, a testament to Clapton's creativity, craftsmanship, and timeless sound. Unlike many iconic instruments that came straight from the factory, Blackie was built by Clapton himself. In 1970, while in Nashville, Clapton purchased 6 vintage Fender Stratocasters. He gifted 3 to his friends, George Harrison, Pete Townsend, and Steve Winwood, and used parts from the remaining 3 to create his dream instrument, a black Stratocaster he affectionately named Blackie. From the early 1970s through the late 1980s, Blackie became Clapton's constant companion both on stage and in the studio. It carried him through some of his most defining musical moments, from Layla and Wonderful Tonight to the soulful live performances that cemented his reputation as one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Its warm, clean tone and effortless sustain became synonymous with Clapton's signature woman tone, a sound that blended blues emotion with rock precision. After years of heavy use, the guitar began to show its age. In 1985, Clapton reluctantly retired Blackie, but its legend continued to grow. Nearly 2 decades later, in 2004, the guitar was sold at Christie's for $959,500, setting a new record at the time for the most expensive guitar ever sold at auction. The proceeds went to Clapton's Crossroads Center, a rehabilitation facility he founded to help people overcome addiction. Today, Blackie represents more than musical history. It symbolizes redemption, passion, and legacy. Built by Clapton's own hands and played through decades of soul-stirring performances, it stands as a relic of artistry and humanity, proof that sometimes the most powerful instruments are born from the heart, not the factory. Bob Dylan's Newport Stratocaster is not just a guitar. It's a symbol of one of the most pivotal moments in modern music history. On July 25, 1965, at the Newport Folk Festival, Dylan shocked audiences and critics alike by stepping on stage with an electric band and a sunburst Fender Stratocaster. What followed was a moment that forever changed the course of rock and folk music. For years, Dylan had been the poetic voice of the folk movement, a protest singer with an acoustic guitar and a harmonica rack, representing the voice of a generation. But that night, backed by members of the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, Dylan unleashed an electrified version of Maggie's Farm and Like a Rolling Stone. The audience's reaction was explosive. Some booed in disbelief, others cheered in awe. Whether it was rebellion or evolution, Dylan's electric betrayal marked the birth of a new era, folk rock. The guitar he played, a 1964 Fender Stratocaster, became a cultural artifact of transformation and defiance. For decades, it was thought lost, only to resurface in the possession of a New Jersey family who discovered it in their attic, left there accidentally by one of Dylan's crew members. In 2013, the Newport Stratocaster was sold at Christie's for $965,000, becoming one of the most valuable and historically significant guitars ever auctioned. Dylan's Newport Stratocaster stands as a timeless emblem of artistic courage. The moment a folk poet became a rock icon, and music itself was electrified forever. The reason some guitars command such staggering prices goes far beyond craftsmanship or sound quality. It's about history, emotion, and legacy. Each million-dollar instrument tells a story that connects generations of musicians and fans alike. Historical significance plays a crucial role. When a guitar is tied to an iconic performance or recording, like Dylan's Newport Stratocaster or Cobain's Unplugged Martin, it becomes a living piece of history. These moments define eras, symbolizing shifts in culture, sound, and attitude. Owning such an instrument means owning a tangible link to a turning point in music. Provenance, the guitar's direct association with a legendary artist, is equally powerful. Knowing that a guitar once rested in the hands of Clapton, Gilmour, Hendrix, or Lennon adds immeasurable emotional and historical value. It's not the instrument alone that people buy, it's the story of the artist's life, struggle, and genius embedded within it. Cultural impact further elevates these guitars. Instruments that shape the evolution of rock, blues, or folk music become symbols of revolution. They represent more than sound. They represent identity, freedom, and expression. Rarity adds another layer. Many of these guitars are custom-built, modified, or one-of-a-kind, impossible to replicate even by the original makers. Their uniqueness ensures that demand will only rise with time. Finally, collector demand from wealthy fans, museums, and institutions drives prices skyward. For these buyers, such guitars are not investments in material, but in meaning. Ultimately, these sales reveal that the greatest instruments are not defined by their construction, but by the souls who played them. They transcend music, transforming into priceless artifacts of cultural history, eternal echoes of the artists who once made them sing.